Using the passive voice with the function of the object being more important than the subject, we are going to make our students tour guides. I'm going to put them into pairs and I'm going to give each group a few very famous cultural monuments or artifacts. This could be like the Mona Lisa, the Pyramids of Giza, Charles Bridge in this country, the Eiffel Tower, etc. So with their partner, they have to get up and give a tour of these various different things. And the language is going to sound something like this. The Eiffel Tower was designed by, it was created in, it is seen by, it is considered to be, etc., etc., etc. To keep it flowing, I'm going to make sure that the people on the tour have to ask the relevant questions. And the motivation goal is to give the best tour possible. At the end, everybody can vote on which pair gave the best tour. And to get that student talking time, which is so important, I'm going to make sure that in their task that they have to offer at least 7 or 8 facts at a minimum. To make it engaging, we can have them stand up and give the tour while walking around the room. We can have pictures, I can have like a little umbrella for their tour guide. Maybe everybody has some sort of a currency or something that they can give to the best tour. To give you all an example of what I mean when I say picking your function, we can use the passive voice in a totally different way if we want to. Let's take a look at a role play using the passive voice to avoid blame. In this scenario, everybody works for a giant billion-dollar company, and the problem is they've gone bankrupt. You have all of these different departments, and they've all made dozens of mistakes throughout the year. They have to report to the CEO, who wants to know, why did we go bankrupt? The thing is, they don't want to admit blame, so they're going to talk about their own mistakes using the passive, but they're going to blame the others using the active. So yes, mistakes were made, but the advertising department totally missed their goals. The motivation / goal is the CEO has to determine which department is most culpable, depending on how effective they use the passive voice. I'm going to make my students head of tourism for various different countries, and using the comparative and the superlative, and based on a bunch of different categories, they have to convince the other class why their country is better than other countries, and in fact, why their country is the best to travel to in 2025. I don't want them to straight up lie about various different facts about their different countries or regions, but they can bend the truth. And of course, they'll be able to criticize and disagree with what the other countries are saying. To make it engaging, I can always give them like really bizarre and probably not the best places to travel to make it engaging. At the very end, the class can decide which country is in fact the best to travel to. Our students are going on a date, and it's been a really long time since they've been in the dating market. I'm going to give them a picture of who they are, and they look terrible. There's so many different problems with them. Their dress, their hair, what they smell like, and everything else. And other students have to offer them advice on things they could do, so possibilities, should do, stronger suggestions, and have to do or mustn't do obligatory things. The people that change the most and adapt the most win. And this is a good example of giving people a role, because now they can criticize each other because they're criticizing the picture, right? They're not criticizing, the individual. I'm going to make my students detectives, and using past modals, must have, might have, could have, they're going to try to solve a crime. They're going to walk into the room and it's going to look like a crime scene. And using those two modals, they have to decide what must have happened and what might have happened or what could have happened. The groups that accurately deduce the best factual information win. To make it engaging, I can actually set up the room like a crime scene if I have the time and the means, and if not, I can give them a picture. Going back to the beginning of the video, creating great grammar role plays is all about knowing your grammar point well, pulling out a function or two to focus on, and then creating those real life scenarios where it's naturally going to come up. After that, you just add the different ingredients that we talked about, and you'll have something great.